Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in. Today's episode, the theme is family drama. Okay, let's get into it. The title of the first story is My grandfather had a 4-year-old daughter before he died. My whole family wants to send her to an orphanage. I said I'll take her, and now everything in my life is upside down. Hi, I'm 23 male, and this week my entire life changed. 3 days ago, my grandfather passed away. He was 78. He had 2 kids, my mom and my uncle. I'm the youngest in our family, or at least I thought I was. My family is very big. During the wake, a huge bomb dropped on all of us. It turns out my grandfather had a 4-year-old daughter with a cleaning lady who used to help him around the house. The woman is gone and no one knows where she went. The girl's name is Lenka, and she's tiny, quiet, and completely alone. And everyone in my family hates her. At the funeral, nobody would even look at her. I saw her curled up in the corner of the room like she was trying to disappear. And the only conversation anyone had was who's not going to take her. They all agreed that she should be sent to an orphanage. I don't know what happened to me at that moment, but I snapped. I walked over to her, knelt down, smiled, and asked, "Would you like to live with me?" She didn't say anything, just slowly nodded, and that was it. That night, Lenka came home with me. She had been staying with my cousin for a few days, and Nika handed me her health card and basically said, "Good luck." I'm a 23-year-old guy living alone in a small apartment in eastern Slovakia. I work from home, I pay rent. I'm not rich. I've never raised a child. I'm still an external university student. I go to school on weekends, but she came with me, and she's been here since. That night, she didn't say a word on the car ride. I showed her my apartment, gave her food. She barely reacted. Later that night, while I was trying to sleep, I broke. It was 2 a.m. and I was crying like I haven't cried in years. I kept thinking, what the hell am I doing? How can I raise a child when I'm just a kid myself? My family won't help. Everyone will judge me. She's not even technically my niece. She's my aunt. Yeah, that part's wild. She's my mom's half-sister, which makes her my aunt, but she's 4 years old. I couldn't sleep that night. Around 3 a.m., we had a little accident. She wet the bed. She didn't cry. She just tried to hide the blanket like she didn't want me to find out. My heart cracked in half. I told her everything's okay, and I helped her clean up. In the morning, I explained that we need to go shopping to get her things. We walked to the store only 5 minutes away, but it took us about 15. She was trying to be independent and didn't want to hold my hand, but on the way back, she was so tired she almost collapsed on the sidewalk. I asked if I could carry her, and she said no at first, but after a few more steps, I picked her up anyway. She looked annoyed, but didn't resist. We made it home. I made her breakfast, and thank you to the friend who gave me ideas, and then told her we had to go to some offices so that I could become her guardian. I thought I would just drop off the papers. Instead, the whole process started immediately. It was chaos. I brought every document I had. My ID, death certificate, her health card, a letter I wrote asking for emergency temporary custody, but when I got to the child services office, one woman tore me apart. She was cold and cruel and basically called me a stupid boy to my face. You're just a kid. You can't raise another kid. You don't even have rights to her. She's better off with her mother. And she said all of this in front of Lenka, who was sitting quietly in my lap. I looked down and saw tears running down her face. At first, I didn't even notice. I just felt her little body trembling. She was crying silently. I gently apologized to the woman, stood up, and said we'd come back later. I took Lenka outside and walked her to a little ice cream shop nearby. We sat together in silence. I explained we'd have to go back and talk to the mean lady, but I promised I would stay with her the whole time. She nodded. Back inside, the woman didn't get any nicer, but she did explain what would happen next. Basically, exactly what I had read online. Social workers will visit us. They'll try to contact her mother. If they find her, she may get legal priority. But I'm going to fight this. If that woman abandoned Lenka once, she'll do it again, and I won't let that happen. Now it's late again, and I'm completely drained, and I need to say this somewhere. I love this kid. I've known her for 3 days, and I would do anything to protect her, but I'm falling apart inside. I work from home, which is the only reason that this is even possible, but on weekends I go to university, and I'll probably have to give that up. There's no babysitting culture here in Slovakia, especially not in a small town like ours. I'm selling my motorcycle, so I'll have more money for her. I'm terrified I'll never find a girlfriend because what 23-year-old wants a boyfriend with a 4-year-old? I feel like I traded everything I used to be for someone who deserves a better life, and I don't regret it, but I'm scared and tired and trying not to break. I don't even know why I'm posting this. I just needed to let it out. If you read all of this, thank you, really. And if anyone's been through something similar, any advice would mean the world. If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you. Oh my God, wait. I actually almost just cried my eyes out during that. The beginning of the story, him being like, everyone hates her. Everyone hates her. She's a 4-year-old. What the fuck is wrong with you? Everyone hates her. Are you kidding me? That's so... I get not wanting to like take care of her. That's a big responsibility. It makes sense. But everyone hates her? Who? She never asked to be here. She's just here because your 74-year-old dad decided to have a kid and the mom ran away or whatever. Like, oh my God, this poor little girl shriveling up in the corner at her dad's funeral, which was who was taking care of this kid for the past 4 years, for the first 4 years of her life? Like, was it him? I assume not. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a bomb that was dropped on everyone. Was it the mom? I don't know. But everyone hates her is crazy. How do you hate a 4-year-old? A little pure, innocent 4-year-old that is obviously fucking scared out of her mind. No one loves her. She's all alone. Whoever she's known as her dad, I don't even know if she knows it's her dad, is dead. She's at the funeral. Like, what? This guy? Sorry, but if I met you and you were 23 years old and I was like whatever around your age, I mean, I am around his age, but I would be that. I'm sorry. No, why am I saying I'm sorry? That would be like something that would honestly make me want to date him more. So I would have to disagree with that. I do think that the other way around, because obviously men are so judgmental about this when it comes to a woman that they're dating having a kid, it's definitely different. And I don't know if this goes for like, I do think that women are way more accepting when it comes to men that they're dating having kids. And this isn't even his kid. This is just a kid that he's like taking in and adopting, and he's going to become the parent of her. So that makes it even more like, wow, you're an amazing human being. And that would make me like admire you so much more, to see that you're so empathetic that you wouldn't let this poor little 4-year-old girl who has no one be alone and sent to an orphanage. Like, that would make me want to literally marry you. So one of the comments says, I don't have any advice, but as someone who grew up unwanted, I do want to tell you thank you for taking her in and wanting to fight for her. It means so much more than you'll ever know. And OOP said, thank you. I needed this. I literally am so sad for this poor little girl. Okay. Update 5 days later. Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a quick update to thank you all. My last update is still waiting for approval from the admins, probably because I asked people for financial help to pay for a lawyer, but I won't do that again. I hate myself for doing it in the first place. I sold my motorcycle and I'll manage somehow on my own. Thank you all for your kind words and encouragement. I really needed to hear that. I tried to reply to as many comments as I could, but there are just too many. Lenka is doing well. She finally started smiling. I introduced her to my neighbor, an older lady who never had children. She looked after Lenka while I went to get her toys from her grandfather's house. She also has a dog, and Lenka just can't stop playing with it. One night, Lenka found me crying. She sleeps in my bed, and I've taken the couch. I guess she must have heard me. She came to me and asked if I was crying because of her, and of course I said no. And when she hugged me, my heart shattered into a million pieces. I will protect that child. She's mine, and I'll do anything for her. The next part of the update will be in Slovak. I'm sorry, but I need help, and the quickest way will be if someone from Slovakia or the Czech Republic responds. And there's a translation in English. It says, hi, if you're reading this, thank you. I want to ask for your help. It's very uncomfortable for me to ask for help like this, but I have no other options. Lenka needs toys and new clothes. She is still playing with toys that probably belong to my mom. I went to charity for new clothes, but there wasn't much. Please, if you're reading this and have toys from your child lying around at home, I kindly ask you to contact me, please. Aww. I would literally... I don't know if, I could easily go to the thrift store because I am in Florida in the USA. Obviously, I don't know what it's like in Slovakia. I don't know what the thrift stores are like there. I don't even know. He said that he went to charity stores and stuff, but there are so many thrift stores near me where I could literally buy jillions of pieces of clothing, little kid clothing, for so cheap. And I would love to just, go buy a bunch of clothes and send this person clothes. Like, that is just, you're actually an amazing person if you do this, because I can't even say that I would 100% do this. I mean, this would be like so much responsibility, and so I'm scared to even get a dog. So obviously I can say, like, I hope I would do this if this little 4-year-old had no one. That's a huge decision, and you're an amazing person for deciding to take this little kid in, and you're actually a hero. You're an angel. You deserve everything. Someone said, OP, you are a wonderful person, and I'm sure there will be lots of women who will want a man with a heart like yours. What you do for that kid is selfless and kind and good, and she will be forever grateful for the one person who stood by her when all others failed. I'm not sure whether it's affordable to get her into therapy, but I strongly suggest it for the both of you. I wish you the best. OP said, yes, I'm planning to take her to a therapist in Slovakia. If you pay for health insurance, it's free. I'm paying for her health insurance, and I also paid extra for various injuries and so on. No, I want to cry, actually. Hi, OP. Some small advice. You're doing amazing, and I admire your humanity and resolve. Childcare is tiring, though, in body and soul, and it would be easy to slide into a world of putting Lenka first and only Lenka. This will burn you out. There will be times where it's in her best interest to come second and to put yourself first. You're sleeping on the sofa. You need to work out a way of getting a proper sofa bed. It doesn't have to be new, and you can sometimes pick them up for cheap or even free in local groups. You have to make sure that you're sleeping well, because if you don't, then it will affect your mood, your health, and your parenting relationship with Lenka. Socializing, being a single parent, will mean that you almost never go out and run the risk of getting cut off socially. Look at something like D&D, which can be played online through Discord, which will give you access to adult conversation. Take the opportunity if she's invited to a sleepover to go out and see friends, even if you could just sleep for 1,000 years. Your mental health is important. You're doing great, but don't lose sight of your own well-being. OOP said, thank you for the advice. My friend offered to sell me his son's bed, so I should be back in my bed in a few days. At least I hope so. And oh God, I didn't even think about that. Since she's been with me, I haven't gone out with my friends even once. I really need to look into that. Thank you. That's just literally so sweet. And you could even have your friends over to your apartment. Like, you could have them meet her. You could, obviously, yeah, sometimes you'll want to hang out with your friends without them, but I'm sure your friends would love to support you in this journey that you're taking, and especially if they're good friends. I just The top comment says, who was looking after the child before Grandpa died? Grandpa? Why was the child not already given away? And then someone responded, I think Mom bailed when Grandpa died. Well, that's how I read it. Diane said, and how did the kids show up at the funeral then? Mom didn't just drop them off and leave because OOP wouldn't say nobody knows where she is. I read those first sentences and immediately called bullshit. The post said she had been staying with his cousin before. The cousin gave him her medical card. I still think the post is BS, but this wasn't a plot hole. Easy to miss since the post is long-winded and it's one sentence. Okay, this says, this is the plot of manga anime Bunny Drop. I can't recommend the manga past the first half because it gets pervy, but the anime was lovely. What? Are you fucking joking me right now? So this isn't real? I'm actually so pissed off if this is actually fake. Like, what? Nami about to cry because you just told me a story that's actually an amazing story and it's fake? If it's fake, that could be fake. I could see that one being fake, but I'm so annoyed. Whatever. I'm sure that's happened somewhere in the world, okay? That's always my excuse. I'm sure it's happened somewhere in the world. Everything has happened at least once, right? Right. We're going to move on to the next story. And the title is, Am I the asshole for inviting my dad's girlfriend over my real mom to spend the day with me? My 17 female parents got divorced 6 years ago. My mom quickly remarried and my dad has been seeing his new girlfriend for nearly 2 years now. I now live at my mom's house for 2 weeks and then switch over to dad's house for the next 2 weeks. My relationship with my mom has always been difficult. I always felt like my mom wished for a more girly daughter so we could do classical mother-daughter activities together, but I'm simply not that person my mom wants me to be. I've always been more tomboyish and I've been into sports, especially tennis, since I was a little girl. Something my mom never truly understood or made an effort to be interested in. As a result, my mom and I never had the close mother-daughter relationship, and I feel like my mom wished for us to have that. Now my relationship with my dad has been the polar opposite. My dad and I always got along great, and I have always been a daddy's girl. But when my dad introduced me to his new girlfriend, Julia, I instantly disliked her. My younger me thought she was stealing my dad from me. her being relatively young, 27 when they began dating, and a how I unfairly stereotyped her at first, vapid pretty girl, certainly didn't make me like her either. But my younger me misjudged her, and she's honestly pretty great. She's always supported me, shown interest in my passions, showed up to my tennis matches, something my mom didn't bother to do, and has been a great person all around. I'm now ashamed to admit this, but I didn't recognize this until 3 months ago, and have been acting pretty horrible towards her before that. The problem is, second last weekend, I had a tennis tournament where I got second place. For the second place, I won a spa day for me and a guest. I decided to invite Julia, my dad's girlfriend, to thank her for supporting me and for dealing with my horrible behavior. You don't believe how happy she was when I invited her. But when I returned to my mom's place on Sunday evening, my mom kind of assumed I would invite her as my guest for the spa day. She seemed to really look forward to it. When I awkwardly told her that I already invited Julia, she was disappointed and sad. And since then, she has acted downcast and moody, and we haven't really talked. I tried to explain the situation to her, but she won't listen. Now I feel horrible. I feel like I really hurt my mom, and I feel like I chose Julia over her. So am I the asshole for inviting my dad's girlfriend over my mom to spend the day with me?
Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support.
Definitely not the asshole. I would definitely invite someone who supported me in what I just won a prize for. My matches, it seems like that's what she's saying. Like her mom doesn't even support her playing tennis, but Julia shows up all the time. Yeah, of course you're going to invite that person. And yeah, it's so hard to like hurt your parents' feelings, especially even if you're like in the right about it and it's totally fine and you're not the asshole in this situation, but it's still really hard to deal with because obviously you just feel like, you know, you love your parents and you want love from your parents, and it's hard. Rit said, no, but I can definitely see how this would have hurt your mother. You say she likes girly things, and here's a girly thing you didn't want to share it with her. Sit down with your mom, tell her you noticed she's hurt and you did not intend that. You feel awful, and explain that you invited Julia as an apology of sorts to make up for being so awful to her for so long, and then let your mom know that you would really love to have a special mother-daughter spa day with her. OOP said, I didn't think that way, but you're right. To my mom, it probably feels like Julia and I robbed her of the exact type of mother-daughter experience she always wanted. Info. Did your mom come watch you at the tournament, or did she just hear about your prize and expect to benefit from it even though she wasn't there? And OOP said, my mom didn't come to watch me play. Exactly. Sorry, I don't feel bad for you. You're not even supporting your daughter. Why do you expect the prize over someone who is supporting her? That's so annoying to me. So annoying. Blackhand said, wait, how did your mom know about this to be making assumptions about it before you said anything? You said she didn't go to your matches. Wouldn't she have needed to be there to hear the announcement? OOP said, my dad texted her and told her I got second place and won a spa day for 2 people. He didn't know that point in time that I was planning on inviting Julia. The update is 2 weeks later. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to read and reply to my post. I read every response and I appreciate all the input. I've been putting off talking to my mom until Sunday, a week ago, when I finally found a good opportunity to talk to her. I told my mom that I love her, that I didn't intend to hurt her by inviting Julia, and that I feel terrible for hurting her. I also explained to her why I invited Julia. This time she seemed to listen, and reassured her that me inviting Julia doesn't mean that we can't have our own spa day, or that I chose Julia over her because she is still my mom and I'll always love her. Then I showed her the websites of some spa places I had looked up beforehand and offered to pay for part of the costs. I know some people advised me against it, but I think it's a small but important gesture to show my mom how much she means to me. My mom seemed really excited to go to one of them with me and said I wouldn't have to pay a cent. And then came the hard part for me. I told my mom that I feel like she never supported me in my interests, and it hurt me that she can't even be bothered to show up to one of my tennis matches. I also expressed my feelings that I always felt like she wished for a more girly daughter and how this hurt me. At first, my mom got pretty defensive. She tried to deny it, but I was adamant, and in the end, when she saw how important this was for me, she apologized and promised to improve. Later at dinner, my mom asked me if I would like to go to a nearby climbing park with her and my stepdad in the future. I instantly agreed and was so happy because going to a climbing park isn't something my mom would normally suggest. I feel like it means she genuinely listened to me and tries to truly improve our relationship. It has been a week now since I talked to my mom, and I'm in good spirits as I hope our relationship will improve. I'm also hopeful that we'll find our own mother-daughter thing in the future. Thanks again, Reddit, for your input. The top comment says, I feel like it means she genuinely listened to me and tries to truly improve our relationship. It really sounds like it. It seems like your mom is showing you she meant her apology. She made a promise to try and now is acting on that promise. Good on you for approaching her and even having a suggestion ready and standing firm. It's natural that she got defensive at first, but her dropping it not only shows she acknowledged this was important to you, but showed a part of her humility. She realized she had done something wrong, and then her words and later actions that followed reflect on how she does want to work on the relationship. Her relationship with her daughter is more important than her being right or sticking to any image, which is such a nice break to read compared to what normally is said around Reddit with parental relationships. Healthy communication for the win, people. And then someone else said, this is one of those I should stop here for tonight posts. I mean, I won't, but I probably should. Oh, because it's like a good ending. I was like so confused for a second. Oops. Sorry. I don't pick up on things fast, as you can tell. I'm glad though. I'm really glad that ended up being what happened in that situation, because I can only imagine like having that if my mom didn't really show an interest in me as a person, I would be sad. Yeah. I mean, even like growing up, I definitely experienced some of that, but not because my mom wished for a more which I don't fault. I always like feel bad talking. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I always feel bad talking about any experiences that I had growing up that are like a negative reflection on my parents. And I'm sure this is like probably a common feeling that other people get as well, because they don't want to make their like parents seem bad, because I obviously love both of my parents. There are some things that like I grew up in. I always compared my parents to other parents, like when I would have like sporting events or anything like choir concerts or things like that. And if my parents a lot of the time didn't show up, and that was kind of just like normal and expected. Yeah, that made me really sad. Like I was always the one, I feel like the one person or the one kid that didn't have their parents there to support them. And it seemed like, which I'm sure there were other parents missing, but it seemed like I was the only one that didn't have their parent there to like, even so far back as like elementary school, which obviously as I'm an adult, I realized that like my mom had, you know, she worked third shift, so she'd be like sleeping all day and she wouldn't be able to. She did sometimes make an effort, but it was very much like very rare. And my dad pretty much never came, but he was working all day too. So like, yeah, obviously when I'm older now that I'm realizing like there are some things that they couldn't really control, so they couldn't show up. But it kind of sucks when you're a kid and you don't have parents showing up for you. And like I said, as I've gotten older, I understand it, because they were divorced, and like my mom was a single mom. She had like 80% custody of us, and yeah. But obviously that doesn't take away from the fact that it kind of was like a sucky experience growing up, not having your parents there to support you for things. Anyways, let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my son's father and grandmother when I found out they trashed my son's formula and pacifiers? So I, 20 female, live with my boyfriend, 28 male, and his parents. Despite being on birth control, our son is an oopsie baby. He came early at 36 weeks, and I was scared shitless by the labor and delivery nurses telling me he would need NICU time. He didn't. He would have feeding or breathing problems. He didn't. And he was just overall small, and I ended up with a second-degree tear due to him being sunny side up, and now, almost 7 weeks later, it still hurts to sit down and move certain ways. I still have back pain from where they placed the epidural. My recovery hasn't been easy. My stitches are healing well for the most part, and I'm going to get an IUD placed to have a more permanent type of birth control, because after being on birth control pills for 2 years, they aren't 100% pregnancy proof. Since my son was born early, the nurses gave him formula at first. I really didn't care. I just wanted my son to be healthy and be able to come home. My son's father/boyfriend and his family have pushed me to breastfeed all through my pregnancy. It wasn't ever something that really crossed my mind. My goal was just to have a healthy baby, and we both survive. The hospital also gave us a pacifier, and my son's grandma said that pacifiers were just a crutch that babies didn't need, and I was setting him up to have teeth problems and need braces later on. I tried pumping with the hospital grade pump, and it hurt. I tried breastfeeding my son, but it hurt, and lactation consultant at the hospital said I would struggle with breastfeeding due to my anatomy and the fact that my son has a tongue tie. I just said, okay, whatever. Let's give him formula. My son's father's family, especially his mom, were not happy about it. While I'm changing diapers and bottle feeding my son, she's also up in my ear telling me how breast is best and you never know what's exactly in formula. Spoiler alert, she breastfed my son's father and his 3 siblings, so I guess it's like some sort of pride thing for her. I don't know. She was the same way with my boyfriend's sister when she had her kids. My son's father even said one time it would be hot to see me breastfeed, and to be honest, that just gave me the ick so bad. I haven't gone back to work yet, despite me applying to jobs left and right, so whatever my son's father brings in with his paychecks is how I'm surviving right now. It's been tough, and I have to pretty much justify how I spend his money. Why did I spend so and so at Walmart? Our son needs diapers, wipes, and formula and can only last so long. Well, why can't you start back breastfeeding to save money? I don't want to. Our son is happy and healthy and thriving on formula. My son's father won't even make him bottles because he thinks it's unnatural when I supposedly can just magically make breast milk appear again. My son had an appointment this morning to check his weight with the pediatrician because while he's gaining weight, it's been slow and he's been spitting up the formula. Ended up being gone for longer than I wanted to because the pediatrician's office was running behind. When I got back to the house, I went to make my son a bottle and found the formula canister empty. My son is crying for his milk, and I ask his father what happened to the formula can because it was still half full. He just shrugs and goes, "It looked old, so I threw it out." I asked him why he would do such a fucking stupid thing, and he yelled at me to not talk to him that way. Then his mom came into the kitchen and yelled at me for disrespecting her son. I had to grab the formula can out of the trash can and saw all of the dumped formula powder just sitting there along with my son's pacifiers all mixed in with the garbage. At this point, my son's grandma picked him up and was trying to console him because he was getting upset. She started backing up my son's father, saying, "The formula he's on always looks expired and old and gross." I ended up yelling, "Oh my God," and called my son's father selfish and shitty for wasting something so important. It ended up with his mom yelling at me to get out of her house, and she refused to give me my son as he was crying. I lost it at her and screamed, "Give me my effing baby." And she threatened to call the police on me for verbally abusing her and physically abusing my son. I ended up leaving with my son to a friend's house and thankfully had a sample can of his formula stashed away in the diaper bag I keep in my car along with the 2 small sample cans the pediatrician's office gave me today. Both my son's father and grandma have texted me, asking me to come back and saying I shouldn't have been so dramatic and that my son's father was just trying to be careful. He wasted the baby's food and put my son in a difficult situation and doesn't even get it. Neither does his mom, since she's backing him up on this. They're both making me feel so guilty. I'm just trying to keep my son alive. I ended up calling my mom to talk to someone about this whole mess, and she agreed with my son's grandma about how I should have breastfed, or at least used donor milk, lol. But she also said I'm the mom and can make my own decisions about my son. I asked her if we could stay with her for a couple of days, and my mom said she just didn't have the room for us, which is fair. She has my 4 younger siblings living with her as it is. I feel so mad and frustrated. I'm literally on hold with my son's pediatrician to see if they can give me any more sample cans before I go back to my son's father's house. Am I the asshole for getting mad over formula being trashed, or was my son's father in the right here? Fuck no. He was never in the right. That would never be the right situation to ever have. Are you kidding me? That would never. No. He's terrible. And his whole family is terrible as well. That's so. You're literally harming your child. Your child's hungry and you threw away all of his food. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Edit, my friend loaned me enough cash to get my son a can of formula, thank God. My son's pediatrician office never picked up, so I left a message for the receptionist and I'm hoping they'll get back to me before they close. We can only stay with my friend for maybe a couple of days because I don't have anything beyond what's in the diaper bag for my son. I'm going to apply for WIC and SNAP benefits and see if a lawyer will help me get sole custody of my son. I'm not married to his father and I really don't want to go back to his mom's house if I don't have to. I should have grabbed some of my own stuff, but I was so angry I just wanted to get out of there. Going back to playing phone tag and trying to get help to get us out of the situation. A huge thank you to the Redditor who helped me find resources in my county and offered to help with stuff like diapers for my son so we don't have to go back to his dad's/grandma's. I have a lot of places to call tomorrow to hopefully get the ball rolling. Well, thank God for that person. And that's like the most amazing thing I see about Reddit is when people like truly offer help. That's so amazing to me that people, and the bad thing is like obviously the one of the stories that we read in this episode that was like fake, and it's like people are obviously wanting to help that person, and that's like when it is so annoying because it's like you're going to ruin it for the rest of the people that actually need help, like this person who actually needs help. yeah, you're just going to ruin it. And that's so annoying to me. That's like making up a fake story or whatever and asking for help, like as having a fundraiser and stuff when it's a fake story is actually so annoying because some people really do need help and that's so fucked up. Obviously not the asshole. Like I would never ever say in a million years that this girl was the asshole. Commenter 1, not the asshole, and this is abuse on them. I'm going to guess that they are religious too. Go to their pastor and his wife to sort this out, and when the doctor and mom, you, agree, it's nobody else's business. OOP said they are very religious. My boyfriend's mom wouldn't even throw me a baby shower because we weren't married and my son is considered a bastard. I can't wait to be given the okay to go back to work once a job actually calls me back and I can find a daycare spot for my son so I can move out. I'm so tired of living with every single one of my choices being under fire / questioned like I just didn't give birth. Given the fact my own mother kicked me out, it was either living with my boyfriend and his mom or just being homeless while pregnant. You should never tell a pregnant woman what to do. Like she is feeding and taking care of her child the best way that she can. And that she, like, I don't understand why people make comments like that. Like, I don't understand with this mom and this grandma being like, you need to breastfeed your baby. Stop telling her what to do. If you want to breastfeed your baby, go ahead. But guess what? She doesn't. And it's not like she's starving the kid. I mean, that would make sense. Okay, yeah, if she was treating the kid poorly, but she's feeding the child. That is all that matters, is that the child is being fed. Hello? Like, you're pissing me off. There's an update, and it's 2 days later. And this is June 27th, 2025. 2025. I don't know why I said it like that. Hi, everyone. I know a lot of people wanted an update. Things haven't exactly gotten better, but they haven't gotten much worse. So here's an update for those who wanted it. I don't have a parent's home to go back to for those telling me to go back to my mom's or my dad's. My dad is listed as unknown on my birth certificate, and my mom kicked me out when I told her I was pregnant because she has my younger siblings to take care of. It was either living with my boyfriend and his mom or just being homeless while pregnant. I didn't think my son's father and grandmother would screw me over so badly like this, though. My son's pediatrician office did call me back yesterday morning. I couldn't get through to anyone Wednesday afternoon, and I was able to go in and give them a list of resources. Most I already knew about, like WIC and SNAP, but they also gave me the number to a women's shelter in my area. I live really rural, so there's only one that was listed. I gave them a call, explained my situation, and they asked if I was in any immediate danger. I said no. I had left with my son. She asked if I planned on going back, and I said no. She asked if any physical abuse had happened, and I told her that my son's grandma refused to give him to me until I started yelling, but she said that didn't count because it wasn't physical. She also said I couldn't keep my son away from his father, but my son's father and grandmother haven't tried contacting me since Wednesday when I left. She gave me the number of legal aid in my county and said to complete the eligibility application and she would contact me when a spot opens up at the shelter. This was yesterday and I've tried calling this morning with no luck on getting anyone on the phone. My son's pediatrician's office also gave me all of their newborn and size 1 diapers they had in stock and another sample can of formula for him. For those saying I need to get a job, get a lawyer, save money, I know that. I just got cleared to go back to work at my 6-week postpartum checkup. My last job was working as a cashier at a gas station, and I only made $9 an hour. I've applied to jobs, but I can't make anyone hire me on the spot. If it weren't for my friend loaning me money to get my son a full canister of formula, he would be surviving off the sample cans and what the pediatrician gave me on Wednesday. My friend let us crash with her from Wednesday night until today. Her roommate comes back home, and I don't blame them for not wanting me and my newborn to sleep on their couch. Trying to convince my mom to let us come crash with her until the shelter can find us a bed, but I don't think that's going to work either. I filled out eligibility applications for legal aid yesterday, and I'm really hoping I hear something back soon. I tried calling custody lawyers after Googling them, and out of the few I spoke to, only one was considered low fee, but they wanted a deposit of over $1,000, which I don't have, and I'm terrified of my son's father using his mother's money to get custody of my son and keep him away from me. One really kind person here on Reddit offered to get my son diapers and wipes so I wouldn't go through what little I had in the diaper bag. I also got a lot of really weird and some downright hateful messages too. Yes, I know I shouldn't have had a kid at 20. Yes, I should have kept my legs closed, and a lot of you have some really strong preferences for breastfeeding. It just wasn't something I felt I could do. It wasn't something I wanted to do. I literally never thought my son's grandmother and his father would ever act like the lunatics they are over this. And no, I'm not giving up my son for adoption. No, I'm not dropping him off at a firehouse. I'm doing the best I can under these circumstances. I plan on applying for all the government help that I can get once I have a permanent place to lay my head. I've been running off fumes and trying to wrap my head around everything. I'm still in shock over it all, and I know I need to get sole custody of my son and keep him away from his dad and grandmother. It's not like I can start lactating again at 7 weeks postpartum, but boy, did I get a lot of messages telling me I didn't try hard enough or didn't care enough about my son because I feed him formula. I keep staring at my phone just waiting for the shelter to call and say they have a spot for us. I feel so bad for my son that this is what his life is like, and I'm angry at myself for everything too. I'm hoping I can get the ball moving on getting assistance and getting a lawyer and finding something more stable for us soon. I know it isn't much of an update, but I know a lot of people were concerned and asking for one. I'll try to update again when I have better news to share. Edit, you guys, I'm doing everything I can here. I cannot make a lawyer take my case. I don't have the funds for a deposit. I can't make a shelter worker take us in if they don't have space. I can't go to a different county for shelter or resources when I have nothing but my son's diaper bag and my purse to my name. I have people in my inbox telling me I should have my son taken from me and I should go to jail for leaving his father and grandmother's house for crying out loud. I called a shelter in the next county to mine and left a voicemail, and now I'm calling churches for help too. I'd be grateful for a hotel room just for the weekend. I'm doing everything I can in my power, and some of you are just being downright mean and shitty. It's not like I wanted this to be the situation I'm at all. Edit 2, I've made a GoFundMe for those who want to help after like 4 or 5 people suggested it. I'm getting it up and running now. Thank you to all of those who have been kind to me. I can't post the GoFundMe link because Reddit keeps removing it, but I'll send it to you if you ask for it. Please know, I really, really appreciate it. I can't wait to put this situation behind us. I'm now halfway into my GoFundMe goal, and I really can't believe it. Holy moly, thank you so much to everyone. Every little bit helps. You are so strong and amazing, and people that are people that fucking shame mothers for trying their best to take care of their children and not wanting to give them up is just so fucked up. Like, it's so fucked up. Oh, and if she puts up her child for adoption, who are you or one of you guys gonna adopt it? Like, let me know. Hey, let me know. Thanks. It's so annoying. Stop shaming mothers for taking care of their children. Ugh. As if you could do any better in this situation. This is I can't even imagine myself in this situation. Like, the fact that this person is so strong because she's literally basically homeless, taking care of her son. She's probably not even, like, she probably hasn't eaten in fucking days, and she's just trying to make sure that her son is okay. And she's trying to do everything she can to get the help that she can. And people are actually insane for being rude to this person. Like, I can't even. And that's, like, I just wish I was rich so that I could just help this. Like, I could have just, I always say this. I say this in every fucking episode. I'm like, I just wish I was rich so I could just call this girl and be like, hey, I'll give you fucking $20,000. That's, if I was Jeff Bezos, that's what I would do. I'd literally be, oh my God, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, it makes me so sad, like, to think about someone having to go through this, and that this isn't the only person that has to go through like a situation like this. Like, it literally makes me so upset that so many people have to go through this, like homelessness, just so many things like people are having to go through on the daily. And whenever I read stories like this, it upsets me, and it, like, obviously puts life into perspective, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm not doing good enough, or oh, this and that, and I'm complaining about life. And obviously everyone's situation is different, and just because, you know, someone has it worse doesn't mean that, like, you know, I'm not downplaying anything, and I have my own issues and other people have their own issues, and those are still valid. But when I read stories like this, I'm like, I can't even imagine what I would ever do in a situation like this. And just like seeing the strength of this girl trying to figure it all out as just like a young girl with a son and trying to figure, oh my God, literally. It just makes me so sad to think about. I hate it. Like, I wish I could just, like, hello, why does, it really pisses me off that Jeff Bezos has billions of dollars, and he just spent, what, 500 million fucking dollars on his wedding, and there's all these people homeless and struggling to even survive another day. Like, that's fucking annoying. Like, I actually can't even grasp. Oh, like, I hate it. It's really pissing me off. And not to mention fucking it's so crazy because all of our lives, like, we're told we can't do much about homelessness. We're doing everything we can about homeless people, and trying to help them as much as possible. And then we have fucking stupid motherfucker building a whole ass, spending so much money making this dumb ass alligator Alcatraz to torture these poor people and put them in basically concentration camps. You have all the funds to do that, but you don't have the funds to help the homeless people that need help. But instead, we're pulling people away from their jobs and their families and throwing them into fucking detainment centers and saying, oh, yeah, and then if you escape, we're going to teach you how to run away from an alligator. And that's why we built it in the Everglades, because we want the alligators to eat you. Nice. I love this country. That's why, like, I'm not fucking I didn't celebrate 4th of July. I'm not proud of anything that's happening right now in this fucking country. It's like so devastating, and it just like I feel so helpless looking at all this stuff, or like not helpless, but like I don't know what the word is, hopeless, because I'm like, what can I even do? Like, what can I do? What can we do? Like, no one's doing anything, it seems like. And it's just getting worse. Every day there's something new, and I'm like, holy shit. How is this even real? Ugh. Like, why do we not have empathy for people anymore? Why do we not have, like, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I've been literally, like, I can't. Okay, anyways, before I have a mental breakdown, I gotta go. Because I have 3 more episodes to film, and I can't be having this right now, but I love you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoy this episode, I guess, as much as possible, but thanks for tuning in, and sorry for literally almost crashing the fuck out on this episode, but love you, and thanks for watching, and if you have anything mean to say, leave it in the comments, and I'll block you, or just don't say anything at all, and never watch this channel again. But seriously, to the nice people that actually care about people and are good people, which I know is like a lot of you guys, I love you. And thank you for being here. And I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're alive. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Gotta go. Bye. My merch is out. Yeah, but this is it. And this comes in pink, black, and white. If you want to get a little cute piece of merch, go grab one. Link is in the description to purchase. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.